Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Fresh Brewed Lasers. It's going to be fairly quick and fairly simple. I showed you in my last episode how we made this sign minus the frame. Anyway, so what I wanted to do was I got me a frame and I had got it all set up, and it fits so nicely in here. And it even hides that little adjustment where it didn't quite print to the edge in the frame. So you would never know unless you took this out that it wasn't part of, there was no issues with this. When you look at this looks in great shape. Now, the one thing I did find was because I'm using a 1/4 inch thick birch plywood. Pretty sure it's birch if I remember correctly. Anyway, when I put the back on that came with the frame, it doesn't fit. I can't get it to fit. So a couple things would need to happen. One, I would need to either build my own custom frames, which I'm working out of an apartment right now. I don't actually have a shop. I do things out of my small apartment until later in life might give me an option to have my own shop. So I've got option 2, which is to install the hardware directly onto the wood piece itself. And I think that's going to be fine and acceptable. I think it's actually going to work out and will give people the benefit of, let's say something happens to the frame itself, you just buy another 12 by 12 frame and you can reattach it to that frame. It should just work out. So I got some hardware. Got some little pieces here, and then I also got some wall brackets so you can mount it onto the wall as well to attach to it, which I had misplaced those. Anyway, I will get those. Those are after I do this, because the thing is, you need to confirm if these will fit on the back of this. So let's jump to that first, shall we? So here we have our piece of wood. This is where things would have it, and the multiple points on where they would sit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to adjust this a little differently. So what I need is, should be doing this with a drill. Let's see if I have a drill bit small enough. I was looking for my other small tools, my little hand tools, but I seem to have misplaced them. It seems like when you need it, it disappears. When you don't need it, it's right there, ready for you. I swear it's the crime of everything. If you have that same problem, let me know, because my stuff disappears and appears at random. I swear there's a ghost taking my things and just randomly showing up. It's kind of bothersome. But I think I do. This one looks like it should be. Oops, small enough. So I've got my DeWalt drill here. I said I shouldn't be using power tools for this. I think it's a terrible idea. For something like this, you potentially want to be using a hand tool, because it's just more accurate and you're not going to make mistakes, but we will see. So it does not need to go all the way through. It does not need to be super tight. It just needs to be snug enough. Let's see. Oh, would you look at that? And that's what I was worried about. So I got that on here. However, I punched a hole. So if I get it just in just enough, that's kind of unfortunate. So because I put a hole in this, it's, you know, it's what it is. It's wood. It's not going to really cause a problem unless I chip at it, which I know it's there, so I'm not going to, because I could literally potentially pull on it and possibly start to chip it out. So we're not going to do that. That might be something we'd have to do. Because I don't think I can find washers that would... I possibly could find a washer that would fit, but it'd be really hard to. So maybe a washer might work. I don't know if you can tell on this whether or not you might be able to. But ultimately what's going on is this little piece right here, I've got about a 1/8 of an inch or maybe a 1/16 of an inch gap right here. And it didn't go through because I didn't put it all the way down. And unlike this one, that's still... It's got barely a gap on this one, on this side. I'd have to see. Lesson learned, it's not going to fall out now anyway. Well, as long as I don't... The bottom's not screwed in. But it's a sign that I can work with for now. I might track down some quick spacers for getting these mounted. I just realized something. What's the name of my business? What's the name of my page? It should be relatively simple. Fresh Brewed Lasers, right? And we're working on this frame. And I thought to myself, wait, I have 2 laser machines that can cut, engrave, and do all sorts of other stuff. Even though right now I'm working on UV resin stuff. I was like, I have a bunch of scrap wood, bunch of scrap basswood and stuff like that. And so this is what we did. We created our own little washer. It will fit perfectly. I tested it on one of our other pieces here. So when you look at this here, it's sitting quite flush and into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this done with these other ones and add a couple more. And yeah, we should have our piece of wood nicely done. All right, so we've got all of our spacers put into the brackets, and then we added the hanging bracket as well with spacers, so you can kind of see how that's looking there. And I try to do the best I can. I haven't really ever, used this kind of hardware before, but, I'm not bad at it. And there we go. It is now in a frame that I could legitimately hang on a wall and legitimately have a sign. And these bottom 2 holes are not there, and fortunately, with me pulling out the screws, it's kind of receded a little bit, and then put them back in, they're not as deep anymore. So those 2 top spots that I had put in, little marks, you won't ever really notice them unless you look at the picture. In the meantime, you'll just see Fresh Brewed Lasers, and as you can see, it's being held by my thumb on the back hang piece, which would be great for screws. And the thing is, unlike being in, this is an MDF board, which, it's just MDF press board. This is actual plywood, so the screws aren't going to come out as easy compared to that. So it'll last a little bit longer. And then those wood spacers that I made, I've got a handful more. So my next one, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7, which leaves me with 1 extra. And then I can make more. Super simple, super easy to make these little spacers. So anyway, hey, Fresh Brewed Lasers, use the laser and the painting to make great signs. So nicely done.